Imagine a city overridden by crime, a sinister syndicate ruling with an iron fist, and only a handful of brave fighters standing between chaos and justice. Welcome to Streets of Rage 2, a saga of rebellion, camaraderie, and relentless brawling against the forces of evil. A game that didn't just define a genre, but became a timeless legend, reverberating through the halls of gaming history. Strap in as we dive headfirst into the relentless action, iconic characters, and the beats that fueled the rebellion in Sega's monumental brawler, Streets of Rage 2. The narrative picks up after the fall of the sinister Mr. X in the original Streets of Rage, but, as fate would have it, the nefarious villain resurfaces, orchestrating a devious scheme that sees Adam kidnapped, pulling our heroes back into the grimy underbelly of the Citan's criminal world. The indomitable duo, Alex and Blaze, unwilling to stand by, rally their new comrades, the formidable Max Thunder and nimble Eddie Skate Hunter, to embark on a perilous crusade. As they delve deeper into the dark realms of the city, each confrontation pushes them closer to the core of Mr. X's corrupt empire, unearthing the extent of the villain's wrath that has befallen their home. In 1992, Sega unleashed Streets of Rage 2, a sequel that exceeded all expectations, carving its mark in the annals of gaming history. It was not merely a continuation, but a substantial leap forward, boasting refined gameplay mechanics, enriched graphical fidelity, and a soundtrack that resonated across the gaming community. This game emerged as a beacon of the beat-em-up genre, encapsulating the spirit of 16-bit gaming. Among the plethora of games from that era, Streets of Rage 2 remains a vivid memory, not only to me, but I'm sure to many others. A testament to its impactful design and enthralling gameplay that kept me glued to the screen. The excellent collection of fighters in Streets of Rage 2 presented a fresh palette of gameplay experiences. The steadfast Axel and graceful Blaze were joined by newcomers Max Thunder, whose brute strength was a spectacle to behold, and Skate, whose nimble agility and swift moves added a new dimension to the combat dynamics. Blaze continued to be a character close to my heart, with her fiery spirit and balanced abilities making every encounter a thrilling experience. The diversified roster invited players to explore different fighting styles, providing a rich and varied gameplay experience that kept the fight against Mr. X's syndicate exhilarating. My chosen character was Blaze and my friend's was Axel. I did enjoy sliding around now and again as Skate. Max was powerful, but far too slow for me. The gameplay evolution was conspicuous in Streets of Rage 2, with polished mechanics that made every punch, kick, and special move feel incredibly satisfying. The sequel introduced enhanced special moves, which felt great to execute, particularly as they became a crucial part of the strategy against the hordes of adversaries. The joy of landing on my feet after being thrown by an enemy was a simple yet rewarding mechanic that showcased the game's attention to detail. The level design was meticulously crafted, each stage presenting a unique set of challenges. The notorious elevator stage towards the end was a brutal test of skill, of all the bosses teamed up against you in a relentless onslaught, leaving an indelible mark on my gaming memories. I'll say right now, this was my favourite game in the series. I don't want to take away from the others, but this one really holds a special place in my memory banks. Which one was your favourite? Please let me know in the comments below. The musical landscape of Streets of Rage 2, crafted by the genius of Yuzo Koshiro, transcended the realms of 16-bit sound, delivering an auditory experience that is hailed as one of the finest in the gaming world. Koshiro's remarkable ability to push the Sega Mega Drive's Yamaha YM2612 sound chip to its limits resulted in a soundtrack that was not only ahead of its time, but also perfectly in sync with the game's intense action. The catchy rhythms, the pumping beats, and the melodic tunes became synonymous with Streets of Rage identity. Each stage came alive with its unique theme, enhancing the ambience and evoking a myriad of emotions as players brawled their way through the city's grimy locales. The music transcended the game, with tracks like Go Straight and Dreamer becoming timeless pieces appreciated by generations of gamers. The soundtrack was more than just a collection of tunes, it was the heartbeat of the rebellion, a sonic companion that elevated the adrenaline-fueled journey through a city overrun by evil. Streets of Rage 2 received a standing ovation from the gaming community upon its release, and its legacy has only grown over the years. Critics lauded the game's refined mechanics, character diversity, and the audacious soundtrack, which set a high benchmark for games in the beat-em-up genre. The game didn't just receive positive reviews, it was celebrated for advancing the genre, with many regarding it as the quintessential beat-em-up title on the Sega Mega Drive. Its impact was so profound that it influenced a slew of other games within and beyond its genre. The discussions around Streets of Rage 2 often revolve around its monumental contribution to the 16-bit era, with many modern beat-em-ups paying homage to its pioneering gameplay and design. The echo of its impact resonates through the corridors of gaming history, its name often appearing in lists of the greatest video games of all time. Its enduring appeal is evident as new generations of gamers discover and revel in the genius of Streets of Rage 2, solidifying its position as a timeless classic that continues to captivate the hearts of gamers today. Streets of Rage 2 stands tall as a monumental chapter in gaming, a shining example of a sequel done right. It took the torch from the original and soared to new heights, setting a lofty standard for subsequent entries into the genre. The memories of battling through hordes of thugs alongside friends remain etched in the hearts of countless gamers, a nostalgic journey that continues to beckon. If this trip down memory lane has reignited your love for retro brawlers, smash that like button and hit subscribe as we gear up to delve into the next chapter of this iconic saga. Stay tuned for more retro gaming adventures with Streets of Rage 3.